Monday morning found Claire in a state of panic as she arrived at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport by cab. It was only 6:00 a.m., and the airport was fairly quiet, the first flights of the day just starting to take off. As Claire stepped out of the cab and retrieved her carry-on bag and suitcase from the driver, she prayed she'd packed everything she needed. If she hadn't, it was too late now. Claire stepped through the automatic doors and began looking around for the others in her group. When her eyes fell upon her soon-to-be son-in-law, Craig, one of the tallest in the group, she sighed with relief and headed over their way. Soon, the entire group was gathered together and the checking of the bags commenced. Each person was bringing a carry-on with their wedding clothes in it, so if their luggage was lost, at least the wedding would go off without a hitch. Somehow, Mandy had stuffed her beautiful wedding gown into her small carry-on, and Claire hoped and prayed it would make the flight with as few wrinkles as possible. It wasn't until after everyone had checked their larger bags that Claire had a chance to look around at their group and assess who was there. She knew Mandy and Craig were here, and then there was Craig's parents, Janice and Carl, standing stiffly at the edge of the group. Kaylee and her boyfriend, Mark Carlson, and the best man, Cameron Anderson, and his wife, Angela, were all standing with Mandy and Craig. There were 9 of them in all, counting Claire. Claire frowned. She had been dreading seeing Jim and his wife, but as she looked around, she noted that they were missing from the group. She hurried over to Mandy and pulled her aside. "Have you seen your father?" Claire asked. "He isn't here yet." "Oh, what with all that was going on I forgot to tell you," Mandy said. "I got a call from Dad on Saturday. He was in Chicago for work and he had to change his flight. He's leaving out of Chicago this morning and meeting us in Miami." "Oh, Diane, too?" Claire asked. Mandy nodded. "I'm guessing she's with him. He didn't say otherwise, and he didn't say we should expect her here." As the group headed over to go through security, Claire let out a sigh of relief. At least she wouldn't have to sit and watch Jim and Diane throughout the 3.5-hour flight to Miami, being all lovey-dovey and cuddly. The thought of it made her stomach sick. Everything went smoothly, and the group landed in Miami on time. Once there, though, they had to run, quite literally, to catch the small plane to Marsh Harbor on the Great Abaco Island in the Bahamas. There, they met up with Claire's brother and sister-in-law, Glenn and Lisa Goodwin, who'd just flown to Miami from San Diego. "Uncle Glenn! Aunt Lisa!" Mandy called with delight when she saw them at the gate. "I'm so happy you're coming along." Glenn smiled as he hugged his niece. "I wouldn't miss my only niece's wedding, you know that." He winked over to Claire. "Especially when it's in the Bahamas."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.